It's through. It took too long. It even said off. Oh.
Feels like this. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what time it is. I haven't eaten in probably 2 days. Worship with us. Worship now.
What's the attorney organization that helps fight against homeless people in California? Chisholm. National Homeless. Not in my backyard. ACLU. Litigation against encampment bans. File lawsuits against cities like Fremont and San Francisco to challenge camping bans to seizure property during sweeps, the use of criminal. ACLU phone number. That's what I'm going to challenge. I'm going to challenge the city, guys. Welcome to the beach.
For calling the National Office of the American Civil Liberties Union. Our operator is currently assisting other callers. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it now. For a staff directory, press pound. If you have a civil liberties question or concern, please contact your local ACLU affiliate. For a directory of affiliate offices, press 1. If you would like to make a donation or have a question about
1, give me the directory.
ACLU state is not available. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options. this message, press pound or hang up. To play it, 3. Your message has been sent. If you would like to try an extension, do so now.
Let's see if we can find a local ACLU. Obviously in California, we're dealing with a lot of high-end housing and expensive rent, and so a lot of people live in RVs, and during the pandemic 2020, Mountain View, the ACLU fought against Mountain View because it was pushing all the locals out, and all these people were coming from other different places and pushing all the locals, and it forced high rent. So like Google was like a main drive for that, because Google brings in people from India, China, all over. And anyways, so they had to do something legally for the housing. So what happened was a lot of people were forced into living in RVs and vans and stuff like that. If you were to Google the YouTube, Google RV living, Google campus, like literally people that are making $120,000 a year can't even afford rent either, because these real estate investors find out how much they make, and then they take 50% of the income, which doesn't leave them much. Like they're literally living paycheck to paycheck. They were able to pass a law. The ACLU was able to pass a law where, because they couldn't come up with a housing situation for people that were dealing with this crisis that's happening all over the US mainly, that the RVers were allowed to park in designated areas. There's like a map that they give you, and they're like, you can park on these streets, this street, this street, like this is where you can park. And so that city, that's how that is. Unfortunately, that's the only city in all the United States where that's being allowed. So that's it. They're set in. They're allowed to do that. They still have to comply and move like every 72 hours. Problem here where I'm at in Monterey is people that are living like that, they were building some low income housing apartment, but it's like they're fucking little assholes over here, because they mark the permits as low income housing and all this, and it's supposed to go to the general public that they're going to build. So unless they have a solution to the housing crisis, so it's like on paper it looks like that, but then what they did was they then had a school buy out this development, I'm finding out today, and give it to the low income teachers. So they closed it off to the general public. And now what they're trying to do is they're trying to take all the parking where the RVers are parking and moving 72 hours. But they're also harassing them, because it's like they have the meter guy come every 72 hours, let's say, on schedule. And then these officers that have nothing to do with collaborating the parking, it's like you're getting double whammy. So whatever agenda this officer has and whatever agenda this meter maid has, they want you to move more than 72 hours. And it's like you talk to the officers, and the officers are like, well, I wasn't here last week. Well, so fucking what? The law is the law, right? You can't fucking make somebody move more than what the law tells you to move. And so Monterey is like that. Monterey just thinks they can get away with shit and stuff like that. And they play games. So like right now what they're doing is, oh, we're going to repaint the red zones on the street. And next thing you know, they're knocking out parking spaces, and it's like, that's fucking crazy. So where are these people supposed to go? Like, and so it's like the airport has been fighting to keep a main area where a lot of people park. And it's like, where are all these people supposed to go? Because again, you're not fixing the low income housing crisis. There should be no crisis. There's plenty of land, there's plenty of room in California. It's not like we're on top of each other like somewhere like New York where you have to go up, 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 up. And so I'm going to get the ACLU involved because what they're doing, I think they can't be doing. Like, they're strategically doing this. And then you have specific haters that hate you. You don't even know who these haters are. And they anonymously call on your RV and try to get you in trouble. And so that's why he's saying the officers are coming out. I don't think so. I pretty much think that that's what they say. But behind closed doors, it's every Monday this officer needs to go out and fucking harass people, right? So it's like they're not going to tell you that, but that's what's happening. ACLU Mountain View. So I'm gonna make some calls in Northern California. Do not hit my fucking car, dude. Look at this guy.
Good afternoon, ACLU.
Hi, my name is TeulaTwolah. I'm down here in Monterey County, Monterey City. I wanted to talk to somebody about getting some help for the house.
Thank you for contacting the ACLU. Thank you for contacting the ACLU of Northern California. Press 1 for English, 2 for Spanish. Presione 1 para inglés. Thank you for contacting the ACLU of Northern California. Our hotline is open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. At this time, our hotline is either experiencing a high volume of calls or we are closed for the remainder of the day. Please call back at a later time, or we highly recommend submitting your complaint on our website at www.aclunc.org/get-help. We are not accepting voicemails at this time. Thank you for contacting the ACLU. Thank you for contacting the ACLU of Northern California. Press 1 for English, 2 for Spanish. Presione 1 para inglés y 2 para español.
1. Why does my elbow hurt so bad?
Thank you for contacting the ACLU of Northern California. Our hotline is open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. At this time, our hotline is either experiencing a high volume of calls or we are closed for the remainder of the day. Please call back at a later time, or we highly recommend submitting your complaint on our website at www.aclunc.org/get-help. We are not accepting voicemails at this time. Thank you for contacting the ACLU. Thank you for contacting the ACLU of Northern California. Press 1 for English, 2 for Spanish. Presione 1 para inglés y 2 para español. Thank you for contacting the ACLU of Northern California. Our hotline is open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12
Stupid
p.m.
website.
and 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. At this time, our hotline is either experiencing a high volume of calls or we are closed for the remainder of the day. Please call back at a later time, or we highly recommend submitting your complaint on our website at www.aclunc.org/get-help. We are not accepting voicemails at this time. Thank you for contacting the ACLU.
Get/help. That's a weird.
Thank you for contacting the ACLU
Okay,
of
I got it.
California. Press 1 for English, 2 for Spanish. Presione 1 para
I
inglés
got it.
y 2
Page
para
not
español.
found. What the fuck?
Thank you for contacting the ACLU.
They're gonna give you a runaround.
Press 1 for English, 2 for Spanish. Presione 1
What
para
the
inglés.
fuck? So they're just giving you a runaround. ACLU's site. Check the URL. Page not found. What we do. Take action. Know your rights. It's all here. Like, where'd it go? You know what? I have an email for them. Go up against the fucking city on this stupid housing crisis. Like I got all the time in the world. Like, they know what the fuck they're doing. ACLU. This is Freeman's back thing. W. Freeman. Mr. Freeman. He's probably not going to do anything for me either because he's a douche. Fucking. The city also approved low-income housing using homelessness to approve housing permits in a commercial area on Garden, making it look like 75% less on rent would be provided to the homeless. Then at last minute, after all permits approved, sold it to a school which now is only going to house their teachers. The city is now moving to not allow 24-hour parking to this. Strategically, the homeless have nowhere else to go. It will kick them out of their own city, and obviously they don't care. They don't care, nor are providing enough housing to assist the housing crisis. Is really the only they don't even have safe lots. What else am I going to tell this guy? Monterey tends to be to also abuse the parking, the 72-hour parking law. Having a meter maid, officers not collaborate correct parking times, forcing RVers to move more than once in between the 72-hour law, which is harassment. And marking the homeless vehicles with a orange ink marker that is permanent and damages the tires and rims. Making a debacle out of the homeless. Similar to graffitiing on personal properties. Please help. If they push these new parking laws on road. Thank you. All right, we'll see. I just put out, I just typed an email here. I'll read it to you. Car dwellers need the ACL. Mr. Freeman, he's an attorney for ACLU, need the ACLU assistance in the city of Monterey and Monterey County. The city is overpainting red spots to knock out RV parking near the city. Also approved low-income housing using homelessness to prove housing permits in a commercial area, making it look like 70% less on rent would be provided to the homeless. Then at last minute, after all permits approved, sold it to a school which is now only going to house their teachers. The city is now moving to not allow 24-hour parking. Due to this strategically getting rid of the homeless have nowhere else to go. It will kick the homeless out of their own city, and obviously they don't care nor are providing enough housing to assist the housing crisis. It's really the only safe haven for the homeless. They don't even have safe lots. Monterey tends to also abuse the 72-hour law, having a meter made and officers not collaborate, parking times, forcing years to move more than once in between the 72-hour law, which is harassment, and making the homeless vehicles with and marking the homeless vehicles with a orange ink marker that is permanent and damages the tires and rims, making a debacle of the homeless similar to graffiti on personal properties. Please help the homeless have nowhere else to go if they push these new parking laws. Alright, sorry for the typos. I'll get it. Let's see what happens there. I'm not sure. He's on a sabbatical leave. Thank you. Enjoy your sabbatical. Automatic replay. I'm not gonna reply to that. He says he's on a sabbatical leave. An attorney that's on a sabbatical leave. There's a lot of stuff. Like, he's probably getting slammed right now because of Trump trying to make homelessness illegal. So he's the guy that won the only city in all of the U.S. that gave safe parking to the homeless. The worst case scenario, homeless people are going to have to move there to have a safe haven, and after 30 days, which a lot of them are getting pushed out of San Francisco right now. And they were trying to get an extension on not having to move their homeless dwellings, vehicles in San Fran. It's just certain people just ruin it for people that are really out here still. It's like one thing if you're not going to work and not contribute, or if you have a disability. It's another thing if you're. My fucking arm is just like, why is it in my elbow? I need to get my arm adjusted. So anyway, that's what you got to do. You got to fight back. So that's what I'm doing. Just fought back with the ACLU. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. But Bill Freeman, he's the guy. He's the guy that won. So he's the big guy. He's the big cheese, We'll see if he can help. There's one city that it's illegal to sleep more than 2 hours a day or something. I forgot what city he was saying that was in. That's fucking sad. Because then what you gotta do is then you gotta start sleeping in the day and moving at night. Then you just turn into a night owl. It's so fucking lame. Stupid fucking. It's unnecessary stress. They're forcing you to sleep at certain times or move at certain times, so you have to work your sleep schedules around that. And it's people that are trying to hold jobs down in the day, they're screwed. If you have a job that you have to get to at a certain time, right? So, yup. I don't think that's fair, and I think we should have some compassion for the homeless. And you might be up one day and then you're going to need something like that to fall on. If you're not homeless today, you're going to need things like that in your local cities and counties to fall on, in case you need to fall on something. You have somewhere to fall, because it's a certain, It's just, there's too much greed right now. Everybody's too damn greedy. Too damn greedy. I gotta check my PO box. I needed to do laundry too, but I don't have enough time because I have a chiropractic adjustment. I gotta get. I know I have money. I don't need to get money out of the bank. Let's go back and fucking check on my RV. And it's I'm not marrying somebody and having to put up with their bullshit. Because literally, if you don't have a double income right now and you don't have a partner you're living with, you're screwed. And even then, say something happens to your partner, then you're triple screwed. Or you have kids, you're quadruple screwed. Like, this economy it's like it's at its breaking, the levee's gonna break at any second, right? And putting in certain restrictions isn't helping. And there's a lot of people that already know that. And it's like they don't care because they're sellouts. They're sellouts. They'll do whatever for the devil. You know, I have family members that are like, I don't care if I have to suck dick, I'll suck dick. I'll do whatever I have to do. And it's like, okay, so you're selling out for the devil, what you're doing. That's fucking sad. What do you mean you'll do anything you'll have to do? Where's the drawing point to like having some morals? I'm not selling out on morals, and I'm not definitely not gonna just be with somebody for the convenience to bow down to have society force me to show up and be and act and do shit a certain way just